Hello everyone, so warm greetings for one and all, and I welcome you all for the next session on performance management system. So last class we had discussed about the introduction, definition, and the contributions or the features of performance management system, and dangers when they are poorly adopted and so on. So today let us discuss about the characteristics of ideal performance management system. So before going to the actual characteristics of an ideal performance management system, let me just give a brief introduction of performance management, which is the continuous comprehensive process of communication and evaluation between a manager and an employee. So this system aims in fulfilling the strategic objective of the organization, and it also focuses on employee engagement, then development and performance evaluation as well. So every performance management system helps to improve the effectiveness of talent management in an organization by monitoring and improving the performance of the employees. So by engaging them with continuous feedback or appreciation and the reward program. So this system includes ensuring of organizational buy-in of the employees and creating an open feedback culture and providing development opportunities to the employees throughout the organization and throughout the journey of their employment. So in this session we'll be discussing about various characteristics of ideal performance management system. So starting with the first one, it is strategic congruence. That is nothing but goal setting and the management. So goal management is an integral part of an effective performance management system, and goals are very important because they challenge the employees and motivate them to perform better. And so individual employees or the unit departments and the organizational goals should be aligned with each other. They should be integrated to each other. Okay, so setting goals would mean like providing direction or priority and time frame for all the employee to achieve the objective set. Okay, so achieve the objectives. So based on these business models and the goals are set by the employees and approved by the managers, or even many times even set by the managers as well. So however, the key factors of these goals must be aligned within the organization's objectives. So in general, organizations set goals that are very challenging yet attainable. They should be easy. Goals can be set anything to any standards to any extent, but they have to realistic. They have to be attainable. They have to be clearly defined. Okay, then they should be understood by the employees. Then what is the expectation, what is by the employees, and the clarity should be very good. Okay, the next point is thoroughness. So performance management includes 4 main dimensions to be covered during this process. So first one is all employees in company should be evaluated. So all the employees, I mean even the executive level employees also should be evaluated. Then the sub point of the second point is major job responsibilities should be evaluated. So job responsibilities. Here all employees in general in the company should be evaluated. Here job responsibilities should be evaluated. Then evaluation should include review of entire period in the company. That is probably, see, mostly they'll be doing 1 year of evaluation. Then the feedback should be given on positive as well as negative aspects of the employee performance, and of course it should be not biased. Okay, it should be unbiased. So all these comes under the modernized performance appraisal system, which are most effective ones, which we'll actually be discussing in our further sessions. Okay, so this system is not an annual process, and it has to be actually very continuous. But mostly, the companies practice in annual process. But even if they do half yearly and quarterly also, okay, they all integrate things, and they all consolidate, and they'll the report is prepared as annual. Okay, so however, yes, it is a continuous process, and it depending upon the establishments or organizations, they keep doing it periodically. Okay, so the ratings at the end of the year are not a surprise to the employees, because each now and then the manager keeps discussing, he keeps delivering the employees performance now and then. So this allows the employees to fill the gaps in their performances and skills, and even the manager can also arrange development plans that suit his or her team members, so that individual recognition or individual attention can be given. So the thorough evaluation can be done from employee or their job responsibility, or even the feedbacks also, even when they have some negative aspects, this can be rectified. Proper development or training can be given for the employees, and so the manager's duty is to recognize what the minus points or the plus points and all. So moving to the next one, it is practicality. So performance management system implemented in the company should not be too expensive, since it's a very continuous process and it has to be done periodically. It can't be too expensive, otherwise the major part of our budget will be towards performance management system, rather than training and development, or even time consuming. So it can't be taking too much of time all over. So it should be, if it has to be effective, so effective performance appraisal system should be designed to be very economical and less time consuming to get maximum benefits. So HR personnel need not waste all their valuable time only in managerial tasks. So with a very good performance appraisal system, they can spare time and effort to focus on other very important and productive jobs. So system implemented in the company should not lead to increased expenditure when compared to with income generated by systems. So all these things must be well taken care by the respected authorities. Okay, so moving upon to the next slide. Yes, it has to be meaningful. That means it has to be well defined. So the system should take following things into consideration before implementation of the system. So starting with the standards and evaluation conducted for job should be considered as one of the most important and relevant aspect. Then it should focus only on jobs which are under employee control. Then evaluation should be conducted at regular interval of time. Then the system implemented should ensure employment development on continuous basis in the company. So a well-defined performance criteria must be implemented, since effective performance appraisal system always have a standard and top rated appraisal forms and the rules and the appraisal procedures, along with well defined criterias and the standards. So for instance, you cannot just rate a graphic designer based on a skill which he is not present in or her job. Okay, so something like this. So it should be focused on only on those jobs which are under the employee control. They have to be, very accurate and valid and reliable as well. Okay, so moving upon to the next point, it is specific. So, a very good system should be very specific in nature. There should be a clear objective altogether. Then it should provide proper information to employees as to what is expected from them and how they can go about delivering expected performance. So an efficacious and best in class performance review system will always have a specific attributes to match the employee's job description. So once you are specific, once you are clear with what you have to deliver, it will be easy and much effective to the system as well. So moving to the next point, it is identification of effective and ineffective performance. So this is very important, since you'll have to identify which is the effective and which is the ineffective performances. So performance management should be able to differentiate between effective and ineffective performance. So this helps in decision making relating to training requirements, or whether promotions, or whether he is fit to the job, easy updating his profile, or still easy outdated, or in case of any transfers, or you are moving him to a departmental transfers, all these things, whether this particular person or the employee, whether he is fit for this particular job, will be identified through this stage. So many times, based on this, even post appraisal interview also will happen. After the feedback has been collected, the manager will arrange for a meet between employees and the employer or the immediate superior to exchange these feedbacks and all. So this helps the organization to learn about the effectiveness or ineffectiveness, or the strengths or the weakness of an employee, or any problems or difficulties if he is facing, and to just discover what are the suitable training aspects, and so such action should be taken on the feedback of employees to build mutual trust between the employees as well as the management. It is very important to have a coordination and cooperation between the employers and the employees to have a very good effective employee engagement. So moving upon to the next slide. See, if you observe, all my slides are self-explanatory. You can just go through once, and it's been written in a very simple language, so you can easily understand. So the next one is reliability. So effective system is one which provides accurate and reliable information, as the data provided in is used for administrative decisions of and it has to be it has to be valid, and it has to be accurate as well. So it has to be acceptable and fairness. So validity refers to information provided should contain the relevant information, as the data affects future planning relating to operations and companies. So it has to be accurate, it has to be valid, it has to be reliable, as the data whatever has been collected, it helps the management to take strategic decisions. So it furnishes data according to the goals that serves the purpose of performance appraisal or the succession planning. And so the accurate data and the insights ensure a fair and transparent performance management system that earns the trust of the employees. So it's very important to have a fair so that it earns the trust of all the employees. So a good system should be acceptable and should be perceived as fair by the employees in the company. So perception of fairness is subjective in nature and can be measured by employees' opinion about the system and their satisfaction towards performance appraisal in the company. Then moving upon to the next point, it is inclusiveness. Inputs from all employees must be considered during designing and implementation of the system. So such kind of system is believed to run successfully in long run as employees' opinion is involved and employees take interest in adjusted to the change. Okay, so change is inevitable, and yes, it's very important to design and implement the system according to the changes are happening in the present scenario. So it has to always match the needs. The effective appraisal or the performance management system should for instance, if the organization supports cross-functional or matrix team, or your performance appraisal system should be tailored in such a way that the employees working in matrix team are not left out. So the managers with whom the employees are working with, and be it in a primary manager or a cross-functional manager, so should be able to rate a particular employee. So it's very important. So that you have to adjust to the change or the culture whatever you are following, or even the managers and the mentors. So who are your immediate mentors, so administrative, and they who actually give the feedback tasks. Okay, so the next point is openness. The system should be open in nature, as it should be conducted at regular interval of time. All decision taken should involve employee participation and should be communicated in due time. So system implemented in company should be transparent in nature. So when it is transparent, in process, so that it does not properly, harm the organization and the employees, in creating any conflicts and all. So an organization that has, conflicting team at work can never prosper. So this openness helps an effective performance appraisal system to deal it very wisely, and it actually brings employees and the management together. So it's very important to be very transparent with the employees, and so this also reduces the biasness among the superior and the subordinates. So as I was discussing, especially in openness, okay, one more point I just forgot to say, that the system should have no secrets. So evaluating the performance, frequently or whatever, it's an ongoing based process and all. So there should not be any secret. So when they're going to evaluate, on what basis, everything should be very transparent. Turn the review meeting into a two-way communication process, during which information is exchanged and not delivered from the superior to the employees without his or her inputs. So you have to make standards very clear and communicate them on the ongoing basis as well. So you should make communication very factual and honest as well. So moving upon to the next point, it is correctability. So this process of assigning ratings should minimize subjective aspects. So however, it is very virtual, impossible to create a system that is completely objective, because human judgment is a very important component to this evaluation process. So when employees perceive an error that has been there should be a mechanism through which this error should be corrected. So moving upon to the next one, it is standardization. So the system should be standardized in nature, as there should be some basis against which compliance of performance can be evaluated. So system evaluated consistently across people and time as well. So to achieve this goal, the ongoing training of the individual in charge of appraisals, usually, managers, is a must. The continuous training has to be taken care of for the managers here. So the next important aspect is ethicality. So regarding ethicality, the system should comply with ethical standards, which means that the supervisor suppresses his or her personal self-interest in providing evaluations. So in addition, the supervisor evaluates only performance dimensions for which she has sufficient information, and the privacy of the employee is of course respected. Okay, so yes, these notes you can please make running notes, and you can take care of all these points which are very important. So I think this should be fine with you know the characteristics for ideal performance management system. So to conclude upon today's session, performance management system is a methodological framework that fostered collaboration among the employees and aims to improve the performance productivity of the employees and even the organization. So with the help of performance management system, we can manage goals, conduct performance reviews, and give continuous feedback, and align everything with a core values and mission of the organization. This helps in better employment engagement, better employee engagement, which is again a hallmark of an ideal performance system. So tomorrow's class will be discussing about the process of performance management system. So meanwhile, have a nice day, guys. Take care. Stay safe. Good day. Thank you. Bye. Okay. Thank you. Meet you tomorrow.